Ben, welcome to another
episode.
What's up?
Yes.
What's going on, y'all?
Here we are again.
Yes, this is like week number
three. It's number 3. Yep.
Wow. Before you know it, we will have 4 episodes in of this. This is the series. It's like 5th episode, or I don't know, 6th. I don't know. Don't get me lying. But this is our third. So this is really good. And people have really been enjoying this. And I've actually been looking forward to this every week. It's like my Sunday fun day. So I'm glad you guys are a part of this. And it's just good to be here.
Always.
Definitely. Yeah. I feel the same way. I find myself during the week thinking about different topics as I'm going through my day. So that's I'm waiting.
Constantly. I have people tell me that they'll listen to me. They'll listen to us during they're doing their chores, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I think the dynamic is great. And I think that everybody adds something special to the group and people just love it, whether they like us, they hate us, whatever. It's just great.
Exactly.
And Miles actually, it's funny because I talked about you this morning. I actually called T.S. Madison and we talked about you. She said she missed you. So I just wanted to let you know, she said she missed you. She said when you came to our house, you guys had a great time together. So shout out to that. Yeah, so she brought you up today. So just a little FYI. But guys, we got to get into some things this week. We have a lot of conversation to have. We have some loaded topics. But before we get into that, we got to talk about the most trending thing this week in pop culture, which was that terrible versus battle. Keisha Cole versus Ashanti. And I had a bone to pick because Jalon, you was like, oh, Keisha Cole won.
Keisha Cole took it home.
And I was like,
we gonna easy.
Okay, now let's talk about it. Because you was very passionate about that.
I am. So honestly, I feel like Keisha Cole's attitude was trash. And she just made the energy, you know what I'm saying, pretty negative. Ashanti carried the show on her back from beginning to end with a positive attitude, like a woman, like a lady. You know what I'm saying? And however, Keisha Cole has more hits, and nobody can deny that. You know what I'm saying? Keisha Cole has more hits. Ashanti has hits that slap really hard, but Keisha Cole just has more. But she could have played more hits. She did miss a couple, but yeah, I mean, Keisha Cole took that. To me, she took it.
Anybody else? Because I'm looking at me. I'm going to grab something.
So I feel like Keisha Cole definitely took it for the hits. I feel like Keisha has way more hits than Ashanti. I love Ashanti. I like her music choices, but when it comes to Keisha had the hits. Keisha's attitude was straight trash. The fact that it took her so long to get there in the first place, I'd have been gone by that time. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that her attitude was just So I would go with Keisha for the verses because the hits, she had the hits. And maybe that's why she was acting like that shit. I don't know.
Okay. Hold on, guys. because
I for Ashanti. Only one I really know is Ashanti. Yeah. I'm not familiar with Keisha Cole. I like Ashanti's sound. It's a nice vibe. I'm familiar with it at functions and events and where there's a grill going. That's right.
I mean, of course, you're not gonna hear Keisha Cole's at an event because it's gonna make us all cry. She got that struggle and shit. That's not.
I'm just going with who I know at this point. I'm not really too familiar with Keisha Cole's music.
With Keisha, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
And if you're having a bad attitude, I'm not gonna like you automatically.
Yeah.
It was trash. I could even say myself as a fan of both of them, more so Keisha Cole though, because she done got me through some shit. But in terms of that attitude, it was trash. It was bad.
I separated both. I mean, I separated the two. I can separate the artists and their personal life.
Me too. I never even paid attention.
And that's a whole other thing because some people don't. Once an artist does something to fuck up their reputation, they just can't. Kanye West. Kanye West is a great musical person, but still his personality in the media is off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we can still respect the art.
Okay, so that affects their ability to view it, I guess.
Okay, so I wanted to try to pull up this article because I have found this article on Billboard. And it broke down the versus battle. So I'm just going to skip all of this. And they broke up the battle. Okay, so round 1, Keisha Cole, I Changed My Mind versus Ashanti's Happy. Ashanti came out the gate swinging with one of the most popular feel-good hits off her self-titled debut, swinging the battle in her favor early. Ashanti was their winner of round 1. Okay, round 2.
Wait,
what? We got to get through the whole thing. This is Billboard. This is Billboard.
Okay.
So they say, okay, round 2. Keisha Cole, I should have cheated versus Ashanti's The Way I Love You. You already know how it is in these streets being cheated on and lied to. Keisha says, okay. Anyway, they gave it to Keisha Cole. Okay, round 3. Keisha Cole featuring Lil Wayne's Enough of No Love versus Ashanti's Don't Leave Me Alone. Keisha Cole. Round 4. Keisha Cole Shoulda Let You Go versus Ashanti Rock With You. Baby. Ashanti.
Yeah, she got
okay.
it.
Yep,
round 5. I Remember versus Lloyd. I Remember versus Lloyd featuring Ashanti's Southside. Keisha Cole.
I Remember was a hit.
Round 6. Diddy featuring Keisha Cole's Last Night versus Jennifer Lopez featuring Ja Rule's Ain't It Funny Murder Remix. Keisha Cole. Round 7. Tupac featuring Keisha Cole's Play Your Cards Right versus Tupac featuring Ashanti and T.I.'s Pac's Life. It's a tie. Keisha Cole Love versus Ashanti's Rain on Me. Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole's Trust and Believe versus Irv Gotti's presents the Ink featuring Charlie Baltimore, Ja Rule, Ashanti, and Vita's Down for You. Ashanti. Keisha Cole's You Change versus Ashanti's Runaway. Tie.
Okay.
Keisha Cole's Heaven Sent versus Ashanti's Baby. Keisha Cole. Keisha. Round 12. Ashanti Only You versus Keisha Cole's Brand New. Ashanti. Round 13. Fat Joe featuring Ashanti's What's Love versus Keisha Cole's featuring Monica's Trust. Ashanti. Fabulous featuring Ashanti Into You versus Jaheim featuring Keisha Cole. I've Changed. Ashanti. Round 15. Ashanti Movies versus Sean Paul featuring Keisha Cole. Give It Up to Me. Obviously, Keisha Cole. Round 16. Ja Rule featuring Ashanti Mesmerized versus Keisha Cole featuring Missy Elliott and Lil' Kim Let It Go. Keisha Cole, obviously. Ashanti's Foolish/Unfoolish featuring Notorious B.I.G. versus Keisha Cole's Never. Ashanti, of course. Round 16. Ashanti's Breakup to Makeup versus Keisha Cole's You Complete Me. A tie.
Keisha Cole.
Ashanti's Don't Let Them versus Keisha Cole featuring Remy Ma and French Montana. You. Keisha Cole. Ashanti Always on Time versus Keisha Cole. I Don't Want to Be in Love with You. Ashanti. Now here's the bonus rounds. Okay. Wider catalog. Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole demonstrated the power of her solo records, but also made sure to show off more of the range she has in terms of collabs as well, including Sean Paul, Missy Elliott, Diddy, and more. Okay. The biggest snub goes to Keisha Cole. Point to Ashanti. Upon reviewing the collective opinion on social media, Ashanti hit all her key points for the most part, whereas Keisha left off a few records she could have used, like Take Me Away. Best banter. Both singers spent the duration of the battle trading words of encouragement after each hit played. However, based off of how Ashanti held it down solo for her late counterpart for the first half hour, and also how she paused more to share some backstory before tracks were played, Ashanti was slightly more game present. Biggest KO. Ashanti made the right move to save one of her biggest hits for the last few rounds. And to top it off, made sure to utilize her Biggie feature to its fullest potential when she unleashed Unfoolish towards the end. The people's champ, Ashanti. Although both singers matched up closely music-wise, Ashanti reigned as the overall people champs in terms of the positive energy she brought to the battle. Final score, 12-10-3, Ashanti. This is what Billboard is saying. Now, I understand. I'm leveraging this to my point. I understand exactly what you were saying when you were talking about how Keisha Cole really has the better hits or more hits. But to me, the versus battle is not just about a catalog of music. It's about the way that you present the music and you lay out your presentation, because it's millions and millions of people watching and hundreds of thousands of dollars being invested to this. And as an artist, as a creator, as a performer, anytime you got the cameras on you and you got a mic in front of you, you're performing. So Keisha Cole, that was a performance. And so the total package, while she could have really won that. She was slated to win, but she didn't even align her catalog and create her playlist in a way for it to hit. Like Billboard said, Ashanti was very strategic in how she laid out her records. A lot of those songs from Ashanti we didn't even know. However, she saved the ones we did know to the end, so it made it seem like she had a well-balanced track list. Whereas Keisha Cole came out swinging in the beginning, and then towards the end she had nothing. So it looked like Ashanti was winning. And so the overall package, in my mind, if I'm looking at the performance, the songs, the body of work, if you will, it goes to Ashanti.
Maybe Keisha
I can see that. If we're looking at the whole package, I could definitely see
the whole package.
She had the hits. And you know what? She could have came in thinking that she was going to win, and maybe that's what affected her energy. Like, she thought she was going to win, so she sat down and was like, fuck it, I'm going to sit here and play all my hits. But some people get like that, So
maybe
that could be it.
Maybe Keisha didn't have respect for the platform. Maybe she was just like, oh, whatever, I'll just throw this together. I mean, if she has so many hits,
she should have took more time to actually organize her music.
Yeah, she probably was overconfident for sure.
I mean, she was getting up several times, like I was saying before. She showed up, what they said, 30 minutes late. She was either overconfident or shit, I don't know, just late.
Maybe she didn't care.
Well, what I'm hearing was she did a live video. She did a live.
She just wasn't on camera.
Well, she did an interview. You guys want me to? I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. The boy was actually sickening that she did the interview with. I didn't even know who he was. I'm like, damn, bitch, how he get on the stage? I'm like, girl, I was trying to figure out. I was a little distracted. But we're gonna listen to a little bit what she said. And hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see, because she came out and apologized. She came out and apologized about it, and basically she said it wasn't right. Nothing was, the audio wasn't working right, and this, that, and the third, a bunch of excuses. Let me see. Let me see how I can get this going. Oh, wait, that's okay. Do y'all see that? Okay, boom. And let me get to that. Okay, so boom, here we go. Let's see. Let's get into what she said, what Keisha Cole has said. Hold on. Can y'all hear? Or no? No, y'all probably can't hear. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Share audio. Okay. So we're probably not going to go through this whole thing because it's a little long.
Coming in. The numbers are going up. What's the dealio?
What's happening?
Ain't nothing to it but to do it. We up on this thing.
We up on this. I have to just talk to the people and just. I have some questions that, as you know, I wanted to for the verses. Everybody was hitting me like, "Yo, Elijah, are you there with your sister? What's going on?" I was in my doing some raw. So when I was all the comments sending me clips like, "Why she got attitude?" What the first thing I did was I was stepping off to the side.
Well, before we talk about any of that,
okay.
Before we get into the attitude or whatever that vibe is or whatever it was, right?
Right.
I want to say to my fans and to people that watch, right? I know people are still coming in. The numbers are going up and stuff like that. So I wanted to get as many people as I could.
Make sure they know 6 million views was the most verses of all time, by the way.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of people. They said it was the highest rated verses or whatever, which I really do appreciate. And it was a lot of people. I was like nervous about that, to say the least. Yeah. But more so than anything, I want to apologize for not sitting my ass in that seat.
Right.
Okay, because I was there and I should have sat down. I should have just sat in the seat, no matter if I felt like, the the visual wasn't clear, or they said my music wasn't gonna be right, or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? I think that more so than anything, people wanted me to sit, be present, even though they didn't know that I was present.
Right.
But
why of appear that you weren't present? What was going on behind? Because I want people, and even with what was going on behind, there's so many components that come into play that the average person is not aware of. They got to get they got to make sure the sound, and you're going back and forth with the audio. Myself, am I hearing too much of the beat? Am I hearing more of my? Can you please explain to people that why you might been off to the side when the thing started, but you couldn't come into frame? And in terms of branding,
well, I just felt like when I was sitting there, and I'm really thankful that OT was there. I want to give a shout out to OT Genesis, because when I was literally in the back and I was putting on my last touches or whatever, and I'm looking at the video from back, like in my dressing room. Mm-hmm. We did it at the studio, and I said, why does my picture look so dark?
Right.
And so soon as that happened, OT came back and said, they got to fix like the internet connection, because you're going to be experiencing another situation, right. Like when Teddy Riley went, and it was like the picture wasn't clear. The visual wasn't clear. The sound wasn't good. So I was really skeptical about that.
Right.
Skeptical about that. I was just like, I don't want to go on and they not see me, and I'm looking blurry. The connection is not right and everything like that. I said, y'all need to fix that first, and then I'm gonna go out there. And then it turned into a thing where it was like, okay, well, the sound that we had originally discussed was gonna be, the sound. They said that they couldn't have that sound anymore, so I had to use some, Beats by Dre headphones, and I was just like, that's just like going on stage and you got to use some, like a little ear pod or whatever. And I was just like, okay, that ain't gonna be right. But I was like, forget it. I said, just let me go ahead, and give me the ear pods, and then I'm gonna just go on like that. And then I went on, and yeah, I was, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm Keisha Cole. I'm, what I'm saying.
So that's what she had to say. She was saying the sound was the reason why, and the quality, and this is why she had attitude.
For that, there's no excuse. Blurry. For that, there's no.
That's her excuse. So she definitely lost.
Definitely lost.
I mean, yeah, I believe it. She really didn't have attitude, but that's trash. That's trash.
That's trash. As a performer, yeah, that was trash.
I mean, and she could probably be bigger. She could probably be bigger if her attitude wasn't like that.
The only thing you can control is in yourself. Sometimes we try to control every little thing, and it drives us crazy. But we can just control our sanity. Just breathe, let go of the flow. So that sucks.
All right, so let's get into why we're here because this is the boys chat, so we talk about shit that we go through, gay shit. This is the homosexual den. This is the dwelling of the sissies, the queers, and the gays. All of that. We love it here. Okay, so bring your rainbow flags and let your freak flag fly. That was hard to say, but listen, I embrace it all. Okay, I am queer and I'm cheering. Okay, all right. So the first thing I want to talk about, because it's been a topic all week with the straight community, and I felt like we should bridge the gap, between the straights and the gays, because like I've been saying, a lot of times they go through a lot of things that we go through too, and there's not a lot of light that shines on it. So we are here to uncover the things that go on. So colorism within our community, celebrities like Danny Lay have been getting dragged all week for seeming to be colorist. Rick Ross recently, being exposed for being a colorist. And so I thought it'd be interesting because I feel like I've experienced colorism, in our scene, in our lifestyle as well, where lighter skinned men are perceived to be more attractive, more sexy, more desirable, and more valuable, within the urban community. And then I also find that with white men, dark men are more fetishized. So it's just an interesting topic, and I want to know what you guys thought about the colorism within our community, and if you've ever experienced it.
I definitely feel like we set ourselves up for that kind of hierarchy. Like, and it's, to me, I think it's really bad as a community of, firstly, a smaller community of Black people. You know, we are the minority. Then we go even further than that, gay and Black. And so then we go even further than that, and then we divide ourselves according to color. To me, I think it's crazy. You know, I grew up with different kinds of family members. I have Mexican in me. So like my mom, my grandma, all of them are mixed. And I have darker family members on my dad's side and a little bit on my mom's side too. So like, you just, to me, I feel like we should just learn to embrace each other. And if we stick together as a community, we would have a stronger fight for the things that we're fighting for now, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like being a lighter complected person that you've had advantages, or you feel like people are seemingly, you get more advantages when it comes to men because you're light skinned?
Well, I think it's based off of perception, because some people call me light and some people call me dark, depending on like when they see me, what time of it, because, you know, I'm right in the middle. I'm not super light and I'm not super dark. So you catch me in the summer, I might be dark. You catch me in the winter, I'm a little bit lighter. So, I mean, it goes either way for me.
You look light to me.
Yeah, you light skin.
Yeah.
Some people call me darker, but again, I grew up in a lighter group of people. My mom's side, I grew up with my mom.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. It's definitely a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? How tops get to, like, dark skinned men are more so the more dominant, the guys, and you know what I'm saying, the gay relationship, as so the light skinned men, you know, are looked at as more feminine, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so, I mean, it's a lot that go with it, but I mean, like Sean said, you just gotta learn how to move on with it, you know, how to come together as one. Like, we all Black at the end of the day, so it's like, hey, it's how we all one. So
I notice my advantages a lot when I'm around white people. And, you know, Black people too, but white people. But when it gets to the gay community and what they find attractive, those advantages kind of go by the wayside because, you know, I mean, they look at me, they think I feel like I have certain features that present as more feminine than a lot of people. So they kind of just look at your features and will determine, and I've always noticed this from a young age, like at 14, when I first signed up for Grindr at 14, and it's just always been something, you know, I never understood it until I became older. I'm like, oh, I look like my mom, you know? Yeah. And so I feel like though I'm light skinned, my femininity kind of like balances it out. And it's like, oh, okay, I do experience the discrimination too.
See, that's a whole nother layer. Okay, so boom, because this is, with us being gay, it's also a loaded topic because you do have the feminine versus the masculine. And then you also have, like, one of the people, they told me they wanted me to talk about this. They said, one of my friends, he said, all you see is dark skin tops and light skin bottoms. And most usually assume you're a top based off of dark skin and a bottom based off of light skin. So you have that kind of thing that happens in our community as well. So there's so many layers to the colorism, because you could see someone like Miles, who is light skinned, who would be perceived to have an advantage because he's light skinned, but then you put him against Jalan, who is darker, who may not statistically supposed to have the advantage because he's darker, right? But then Jalan comes across more masculine, so then he becomes the one with the advantage, and then Miles becomes the one with the disadvantage. Like, it's just the craziest thing that happened because I don't know, it's just so crazy. But that's true. And I've noticed when it comes to just the strict colorism, like I always tell the story. I had a friend in LA. He's very, very attractive, you know, and I always felt like, being the darker guy, I always had to like dress better than him because he didn't really dress that well. He didn't dress that well at all, but he knew I could push through because I'm light skinned. As long as I, you know, back in the day, if I threw a Beijing in my hair and I had the waves and it was jet black, you know, he was light skinned and he had the white teeth, he was going to pull the boys. It didn't matter if he looked at a fool. You know what I mean? So I always had to make sure that especially in LA, I always have to make sure that I knew how to put a piece of clothing together. You know what I mean? And then I would get hit. Well, you're cute for a dark skinned boy. You know, you can be cute. You know, push through for the dark skinned boy. You know, but my friend always, I could tell that he always felt like, you know, bitch, if a boy liked me, it was more so because he hadn't seen him yet.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
See, no.
You know what I mean? But
I definitely get it.
It was never said. but you could feel it. And here's the thing. It's true though. It would be true because light skin, you would perceive them as pretty, soft. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're more beautiful. It's the same thing that men feel about women in my mind. Light skin means exotic. You know what I mean? They're and then you get that Latin, or you get the Puerto Rican or the Cuban or Dominican. Everybody wants a badass Dominican boy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want a fine ass Boricua. You know what I mean? A Puerto Rican. It's just like you get the best of both worlds. You get the Latin, and then you get the black. You know, so and then you just get a regular black person. Dark skin is just like, okay, do you got a big black dick? Are you because here's the thing, you can't be dark skinned and be a bottom.
Ooh,
or you just want to be used to be smutted out. Like either you taking dick and getting smutted out, or girl, it's nothing. Because if you or you need to be the boy. You need to be like if you're gonna be dark skinned and a bottom, you need to be the boy. If not, girl, you're trash.
Yeah. I used to think like that too though. Like I used to not talk to light skinned dudes because they were I looked at them as feminine, you know what I'm saying? Like when I want to top, I really want I can't say now, but because I'm grown, we different, but growing up I always looked for dark skinned men anyway, you know. We just meshed, I think we just meshed well anyway. So I mean, I don't know. I grew out of it, but I definitely was stuck in that mindset for a long time, my damn self.
And you know, that's real though, because I felt like, you know, I would always have I used to have light-skinned boyfriends. Like, because I always feel like, you know what? It just was like a yin and yang and it will work.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean, I could see the way that it looks. But I feel like when it comes to like what it is stereotypically, yes, you would stereotypically see a lighter skinned person as more feminine, but you also have to think about where we get that from. I mean, we can also get that from maybe pornography, you know, different things that we watch and stuff. So it gears our minds to already see that, you know?
Right. Because seeing dark skin as masculine is a universal
why
thing.
does dark give masculine for men and women? Like, why does that just mean?
It's just a promotional thing.
I don't know. It's probably like programming or something. We just been
I think it stems from slavery. The dark-skinned men were the ones outside working, lifting, fighting. You know what I mean? And really being in control.
You know what I mean?
And then the lighter skin, you know, they didn't work as hard, so they were stronger. They got to maintain their features, and then they were, you know. And then when you think of like sexy, rough, and like a masculine energy, you want that dark skinned, black ass, big shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, thug. You know what I mean? That's what you see. Like, you know what? I want a big black dick. You know, like really.
That ass.
Hey, black, ugly, stupid motherfucker. You know what I mean? No, but that's the truth. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's get honest. You don't want no soft, pretty boy over here telling you don't fuck up his hair. He got his waves on. He just put his face serum on. Bitch, fuck my lap. Because the pretty boys it's the eyebrow, it's this, everything is so manicured. It's like, bitch, if I want to be bitched out, I don't want to be worried about if, you know, fucking up your do-rag, or, you know, if your waves out of play. Like the dark skinned niggas, they just be like, it's just something about a dark skinned man. When you have sex, when the light hit it right with the sweat and the bitch, you be like, God damn, this motherfucker is fine as fuck and fucking the shit out of me, or whatever you feel. You know what I mean? It just is what it just hits differently. You know what I mean? So, and I get it. Like, I get it. Because I've let dark skinned men fuck me. I've let light skinned men fuck me, and it feels different.
Dark skin takes the cake every time. I'm sorry, it does.
Fuck you, bitch. It's like, girl.
It's different.
It's something sexy about dark skinned men. But I think what's unfair is to me, dark skin is some of the most sexiest people. But you know what? People only like to fetishize dark skin. And I think that's not fair.
It's not.
Especially up against maybe somebody white that you're dating. I could definitely see them fetishizing, like, ooh, I have this exotic black, you know, being in front of me, like that kind of stuff, you know? Even in friendships, though, I've had that happen to me where I had a friend that was white that started making jokes that were based off of how typical black people were. So I've had that experience too. So I can see that.
Aren't things fetishized because they're not seen as popular? I don't know. I'm just asking. Like, aren't things fetishized because they're not popular?
Well, I mean, a lot, to me,
things that are unpopular are fetishes.
Well,
no.
they can be, but I mean, but they can. What? We was all talking at the same time.
Yeah, we were.
Unpopular opinions can be like fetishes, though.
I feel like majority of things that are unpopular are what the fetishes are. So, yeah. I mean, with the correctional promotion, hopefully that ends.
I don't know. I just feel like when the fetish comes from like it being like aphrodisiac or something like taboo, it's kind of like, oh, because I think some people look because of the way that society portrays dark-skinned men, ghetto, dangerous, thug, slave. It's almost like it's taboo because you have this beast fucking you, like this thug, like this slave, like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
it's like,
God.
No, that's what it is. This is what it is. You've got this big black, like okay. Oh my God, I was so disgusted because I was in San Francisco, and when you guys come, I'm saying when, because eventually you guys were going to come here. Okay. And when you guys come, I went to this park. It's called Dolores Park, and like it's not. I'm going to take you guys there when you guys come here, but like it's not a lot of black people. It's all white, but it's dopest vibe ever. Like I live for it. I don't care. Like I'm a Californian, so I don't really be around a lot of black people like that. Mm-hmm. I'm just used to it. But I'm here, and it's like we're at the section of the park is called Gay Beach, and like it's like hundreds of people. We're all just sitting there, and it's like a big hill, right? And there's this black guy. He doesn't have any shoes, right? And he's a little homeless, right? Dark skin, right? But he's kind of asking people, excuse me, for money. And I don't know what he had asked these white people, but they must have told him something, because before you know it, in San Francisco, you can do this. He was butt naked, right? But the dick was like this. And he would pull his dick out and go from crowd to crowd and just wave his dick. And the white people would love it. Yes. And they would give him what? So uncomfortable. He was happy though, because he was getting paid. But I'm like, this is the epitome of like all we're worth is a big black dick. But nobody wanted to help you before that. Nobody offered you to sit with him. Nobody wanted to have a conversation with you. You know what I'm saying? However, when you pull out your big black dick, all these rich white men were available.
Oh my goodness.
I was disgusted. But nobody knew that I was disgusted, and nobody thought anything of it. They thought it was just regular. But in my spirit, like I almost wanted to cry. He was happy, but I'm just like, this is what we are to these people.
Like a show monkey, pretty much. And that's horrible. Monkey. That's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, that irritated me. I was sick when I saw that shit. But yeah, it happens, and it happens within our own community too. But I think even like with us, we label each other like when we're looking for our dates and who we want to be with. Like sometimes it goes on to what we're feeling. Do we just want to fuck? All right. Well, if we're gonna get the light skinned boy, he can't be too pretty. Like if I want to get fucked by a light skinned nigga, he's gonna have to have a little pimple. He's gonna have to be rough. Because if he too fucking pretty, I don't want you fucking me. Like, you know what I mean? Because
put a beard on or something.
Yeah, because I can't take all that.
But it's the same thing as judging somebody based off of their height, like how some women will judge men off of their height. To me, it really just depends. I mean, yes, it is an image, and it could be programmed in the system to be that way when we watch porn and shit like that. But, to me, I leave myself open to preference. That's why I've dated all different kinds of dudes.
Mm-hmm. I leave myself open too. I can honestly say I don't have a specific type of person that I'm into dating. I look at the person, fully and completely, and
because you'll be surprised. Like some people.
Just because you have a preference don't mean that you're gonna take another option. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't. Like
I don't have a preference. It's one thing like, okay, I love light skinned guys or whatever. I just don't have that. I don't have.
I find most light skinned guys don't really date other light skinned guys that I've noticed.
I've been with multiple light skinned men. Yeah.
I've been with light skinned men too. I mean, if I'm looking at what categorize me as, I have, yeah.
Oh, wow. Almost related to me.
Jelani, you said you have a preference. What's your preference?
I like dark skin, brown skin, or like my skin a little darker. You know what I'm saying? Not too light, though, but that's my preference. I'm not saying I wouldn't date a light skinned man, but it's my preference.
I date white guys too.
I like.
But I think I can see you dating white guys. My boyfriend is dark. My boyfriend is dark as me. I don't know. It's something about, I like the fact that when we go to the city and they see two black, dark-skinned boys, they're like, oh, bitch, you know, when we put on our Yeezys and our Balenciagas, bitch, yes, black boys can be fly. You know what I mean? And I don't need a mixed boy to up my fly. You know what I mean? Like, brown is in, bitch, and it will forever be. I remember y'all was talking about we not gonna look brown in 50 years. Fuck all that.
You're still gonna be brown.
But it's true. It's true.
Thousands.
So okay, so what about the Latino agenda? Do you feel like that is the thing too? Like, because that's one thing that I find even in hip hop culture. You know, black boys or darker skin, whatever, we get considered, like even in our relationship, we get considered, you know, messy, arrogant, you know, or just drama filled. But then Latinos, they're spicy, hot, sassy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Cultured. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
it just plays into the skin tone.
It's a stereotype. Yeah, I mean, but some people live up to that stereotype.
But if you present if you're Latino and you present like a thug or thuggish, it's real easy to think of them as threatening as well. I mean, but that is true. They're seen more spicy, but I do see a lot of Hispanic people that do get vilified as well, you know, especially with the past administration and all the stuff that's been put in the news.
But do you feel like Hispanics get more leeway and more leverage and more people are fighting for their rights?
They're polished. I don't think more people are fighting for their rights.
No.
I don't think more people are fighting for the rights because they don't need to. I mean, they're pretty accepted and close to whiteness. You know, even if you're
no, I don't believe so. I mean, there are certain, at least from where I'm from San Antonio, which is primarily Mexican. We do have blacks. That's where I come from. You know, there's Mexican nationals, which is maybe what you're talking about. Those are more the fair skinned ones. But then you also have Mexicans and Latinos that are more like brown, sandy colored. And
but
that
even if you're brown, sandy color, brown like mud, if you speak Spanish, you're seen as, ooh, you're not black. You're different. It's more fancy. It's more special. So they could be as black as tar, but if they speak Spanish, they feel like they're more special than a typical Black American.
Yes, they do.
And Jamaicans and Africans feel like they're more special than a typical Black American.
But so I was comparing the white in terms of like the white to Mexican, or like the white to Latino, because that, you know, to me, I feel like a white person is going to look down on other minorities if they haven't evolved themselves anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what the minority is. That's why I say
both Black people and Hispanic people can be seen as thuggish, and they can both be vilified. Yeah, maybe not.
Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about. I think with the Mexican though, I think maybe Mexicans, but I feel like you get Dominicans, you get Puerto Ricans. They're celebrated. The Mexicans, the others, they don't even like this. Okay, so like the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans, they get celebrated because they can be Hispanic and they can be Black, and so everybody. People don't really want the Mexicans. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Mexicans get the shit end of the stick.
So when it comes to hierarchy, like if you're looking in Hispanic culture, you would have Dominicans at the bottom because there is a stereotype where Dominicans can be abusive. That's just a stereotype in Hispanic culture. Then you have Mexicans at the bottom as well. And then you have more like Puerto Ricans. You have more of like the more exotic Colombians, all that other extra stuff. So again, that goes back to minorities categorizing themselves. It's ridiculous.
But when I feel like it comes to like narratives and desirability within dating relationships and culture,
Mexicans would be under. Yeah,
I don't feel like Mexicans. I feel like there was a push at a certain time for Dominicans and Puerto Ricans to be the new Black.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Lopez. Remember when Jennifer Lopez came out with that video? That was the same. And the Ashanti too. Remember Ashanti wrote the verses for J-Lo and J-Lo performed it. That was
not
at that
even that. I
time.
mean, even more up to date. Even though she's my girl, I love her. Like the Cardi B, the Amada La Negra, like all of the everything. Like when you have all these hip hop artists, everything. Like I'm in California, so everything has like this Latin twang to it. Everything, every club you go to, everything has got to be dominated by Hispanic, and every girl, and every video girl now is Puerto Rican or Dominican. Like they are the new hip hop, or that was happening for a while. You know what I mean? So everybody wanted to Cuba. Oh, you know,
I don't see them as the new
black,
but I see them everywhere. In Miami, it's very dominated by Hispanic people. You know, there's lots of other races too, but lots of Hispanic people, and it kind of just is a Hispanic person's world. I believe in Miami, majority of the population is Hispanic. Majority, not Jamaican, Hispanic. In Broward, they're second, so that's the next county over. But yeah, it's a Hispanic person's world. So people kind of are attracted to who they are too, especially with those proud cultures who have culture, and black people have no culture or whatever, allegedly. But they have culture and they have similarities, and they're gonna flock to each other. So there's a lot of those type of discriminatory things. You're not even
But I find in a heterosexual and homosexual relationship, the Hispanic, is more desirable than just a straight on African American. They want that African American. They want that darkness, right? They want that on the outside, but they want the roots to be based in some sort of Latin. So you can have the textured hair, maybe the exotic color eyes, and the feature, so that you can speak Spanish or what, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, but they want you to still present as if you're black.
Right.
So, I just noticed that. That was a thing for me that I noticed. So yeah, and colorism definitely, a lot of people don't realize that colorism definitely is a thing in our society. And I don't think it'll ever change, because a lot of us as gay men, we're shady, and we're a lot like women when it comes to we're very picky. We don't mind. Like, you got to have a certain look, and you got to dress a certain way. You got to have a certain nail, and you got to keep up. And listen, and because we are the leaders of the culture and fashion, and if you're not getting it, baby, we don't give a fuck. Like a lot of us can be very, what is that word that I'm looking for? Pretentious.
Ooh.
We can. And very uppity, very bougie, very, very high maintenance, very, very much we think we better than, you can't sit with us. And that plays into the boy that we have on our arm, because everything is a look.
Okay.
And if you're not fitting the look, girl, you got to, because it's status, right? And if you're not fitting the look, you've got to go. I don't know. It's interesting.
I do feel like it can change, though. I feel like when people think things can never change, they're always thinking so small, like in their lifetime. They're never thinking hundreds of years from now. What's the big deal about that? Like, can we think hundreds of years from now? It's definitely going to change.
Absolutely not. I can't think 100 years from now. I'll be dead. I don't give a fuck.
But that's where the blendedness
people who think right now, and people who think advance.
When the blendedness starts, whether y'all like it or not, that won't be a problem. It won't be a problem.
Not the blendedness.
That's what it is. I don't want to go through the whole, blendedness.
But those are things that don't matter to us, right? Those don't matter in our lifestyle. What matter? What things can we change that affects our thought process and our, things that we're doing, as people now.
Reaction of things.
But you're right. It is a chain reaction for generations to come. So you're true. That's true. All right. Who's next? Because you're right, though. That's right. Because history, right? We don't want history to repeat itself. Right, so you actually have a great point. So you're right. We do have to change for the future.
We will. It's natural.
Yeah. I feel like we will. Okay, so earlier this week, I reconnected with a friend. Y'all know that I have been in a relationship for about 2 years. And this friend, when I was single, it was all good. This was several years ago. And we connected all the time. We talked all the time. It's very fast paced or whatever. But now that things have changed, he's still kind of that way. And it kind of the calls and the texts and stuff, it can kind of be a little intrusive. So I was thinking about that, and I wanted to ask you guys, what do you think about the boundaries of a single friend while you're in a relationship? How does that work? How do you manage that?
Okay, so he's texting you, what do you mean?
It'll be random FaceTime calls. I'll be laying down, random FaceTime calls.
Does he like you?
Message. No. Because even when I was single, there wasn't nothing there.
Well,
Oh well, I
mean,
don't
that's
think
your
there's nothing
friend.
wrong
Yeah,
with
that's,
it.
yeah, that's your friend. That's your friend.
Yeah, but I mean, like if it's late at night, because sometimes he goes through stuff, so it'll be like 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I'll be asleep. What about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the boundary line? Because some friends are extremely, extremely close. You know what I'm saying? Like girlfriends.
He shouldn't be calling you. He shouldn't be reaching out because.
Are you sure he don't like you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you sure he don't like you?
I mean, I'm sure. I mean, we've been friends for so long. No, I don't think so.
4 o'clock in the morning, he likes you.
Maybe I could. No, but he has.
But if y'all been friends that long, you can't just tell him to stop calling you so late and you damn sleep. Shit.
I have, but the boundary again, going back to boundaries, like, is that an appropriate boundary? You know, because what?
Put him on silent.
Yeah, hold on. Absolutely, that's a pro. First of all, you got to decide: is it worth dealing with the reaction of your? Because the reason why this is becoming a problem because your man is not having it. So obviously, for your man to be feeling some type of way, it's not very clear that this is just your friend.
Well, no, it is clear. It is clear because that was the first thing. But it's like
your man doesn't feel that way though, because he would like and then you would have felt like then. Well, it's no reason for me to tell you. I mean, first of all, you shouldn't have to tell him. He should understand that you're in a relationship, and he shouldn't just be calling you at that time because you have a man that you live with, and that's disrespectful.
But even in his own current relationship, that's why I'm saying, like, some people don't have those boundary limits.
I've met other time calling you. See how like meth is.
How are you in a relationship?
Like, what the hell? I don't have any friend that would.
So I'm talking about like operating. Do you feel like it should change in the way that you operate? So all these things that you guys are telling me, these are boundaries. Some people don't have that because I have friends that are in relationships and their friends walk in and out the house like it's nothing, and they're living with that person. You know what I'm saying?
I think a phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning is an obvious boundary that I don't like. None of my friends will do that, like unless it's an emergency. So
that's really wrong.
That's good boundaries in your real life.
What you said?
You didn't set up good boundaries in your real life for them to be contacting you in your relationship life.
Well, not really. When I was single, you know, I just would answer whenever. If I was up, I would answer. You know, so it's always a toss up. It's not like
you gotta break them into a new habit,
right?
But a boundary I do feel like that should be made is the advice you do get from single friends. You know, like you can't listen to everything they say. They kind of do have to be on the outside more, and you got to entertain them when you choose to. You got to realize they're single people because single people live different lifestyles from people who are in relationships.
And see to piggyback off of what I was saying, he is very party oriented. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. That's why it's one of those things where, like, when I was single, I used to be in the club all the time. You know what I'm saying? You know the wave, Jalon. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but once I got into a more comfortable situation, that had to change. But I'm like, dang, you was my road dog. Like, that's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean that you can't still go out and have your fun. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to create a certain life for himself. He wants that environment.
I understand. You know, I understand that. But at the same time,
you got those boundaries.
Here's the thing, though, Sean. I agree with you because I'm in a situation like that, you know, and like I think what you're trying to ask is there like a certain level to it, like with your friends, and when should you tell them like to stop? And I think you got to tell them early on, and sometimes they may not get it, and you might have to lose that friendship because I'm literally in a situation with a friend of mine that only thinks of, and which is older than me, and they only seem to think about going out, being naked, and you know what I mean, which is totally fine. But understand, you can't come to me while me and my nigga we're all watching TV and show me a naked boy on Jack. Like we can't talk like that anymore. Necessarily, like we can talk about that in private, you know, but there's a certain boundary that you don't need to cross. And then two, I think a lot of times with these different friendships, sometimes when you get in a relationship, they don't understand that new me. New situation, or not even new, like I'm just in a relationship now, so I'm not the same person that I used to be, and I can't do the same things that I used to do. So one of my friends actually got upset because I bought them a bottle of Don Julio for their birthday, right? But it wasn't but I didn't buy them the tequila Azul, which was like $200. I think the bottle of Don Julio was like $80. But they felt like, how dare I buy them an $80 bottle of Don Julio, and I bought my man the $200 bottle. If I have the money to buy my man $200 bottle, them being one of my closest friends, I should be able to buy them the $200 bottle. It's like, girl, no, you're not my nigga.
Right.
I'm not your nigga. Like,
I'm not faithful
to you like that.
Right.
Like, where do you get, like, where you got life fucked up? So that goes into you. I'm not your nigga. Don't call me at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, cause I don't want to have to explain that to my nigga. And then here's the thing. I'm with my man. We've been together for 2 years. I don't foresee myself breaking up with him. So please don't put me in an awkward place with you and my man. Because if I have to choose, you're going to force me to choose my relationship at this point in time.
Right. Because of the length of the relationship. Yeah.
Just the fact that that's your lover. Like, it just is what it is. Like, sometimes it happens. Like, you live together. That's who you're with consistently.
But I think it's also like, I agree, but it's also, you know, the past as far as like the history when I didn't have anybody. You know what I'm saying? When I was down and out, that person was there. And it's hard to kind of do that, but I can see what you're saying. Definitely. Yes.
Let me tell you something. Any person that understands that, like, first of all, the piece for me with that is, especially if they're in a relationship, that's the part that's mind-boggling. Okay. You can't be in a relationship, you know, and FaceTiming at 4 o'clock in the morning for non-emergencies. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, ain't nothing that Sean can do for you that I can't do for you at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Sean shouldn't be providing you shit at this moment. If it ain't an emergency, if I ain't dead, or if it ain't no emergency, I ain't answering the phone. Sean should be laid up, tooted up, or doing whatever the fuck he doing in his relationship. We'll talk around 8 a.m. if it's
around
that serious. 8 a.m. You know, or even 7 if I just bitch, let's just say I really gotta talk, bitch. I'm gonna call you at 6:30, like text you, like, bitch, call me when you get up. But bitch, 4 o'clock in the morning, no man should be feeling some type of way, and so should his man be feeling some type of way. It's the respect thing. I don't give a fuck how long you've been there or how long he's been there for you. At the same time, if he's your real friend, he's going to understand. Maybe he doesn't have those boundaries in his relationship, but he needs to understand that you have those boundaries in yours. However, and I'm not saying this that you're not doing that, but I'm just saying you set the tone of how people perceive your relationship. So if he feels like he can just call you at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's maybe some energy that you put out in regards to your relationship where he feel like he
maybe.
Well, in terms of us connecting, I mean, we just recently reconnected. I've known him since Virginia when I was single. That's what I was saying. So like for him to come into this situation, we haven't had that conversation. And now that you guys are telling me, we probably should have that conversation. But it's one of those things where it's kind of like, dang, you know, like I was in a very bad situation and this person really, really helped me. You know, like if I talked to y'all behind the scenes and told y'all the whole thing, y'all would understand. But when it comes to that, I can see that. But at the same time, it's like, dang, that was a person that was with me in the mud.
Yo, bitch, you like him?
No, I couldn't see myself fucking him. No, like I could tell you that. No,
they can still be with you.
Right. But it all goes back to boundaries, you know.
Yeah. You had none in your friendship before. Now you're learning as an adult. But then again,
that goes into age too, because I wasn't as old as I am now. I'm about to be 29. Back then, I was like 22, 23. I was out in the club, like I was saying. So it's.
I go out to the club. I have boundaries with my friends. They know not to call me at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's about what you permit, you promote. So you got to figure that out, and that goes for anything, you know.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm older, I would have to figure that out.
Yeah, we all need those healthy boundaries.
I just don't think it's that hard to establish boundaries.
It's
honestly.
not. Just tell them all the time.
Let me be honest with you. The only time it's hard to establish boundaries like that is if there's a feeling somewhere.
I don't think so. I think the only feeling that I have is that that's my friend. I wouldn't sleep with my friend, no. And I stick by that, so y'all can say what y'all want. I stick by it. I stick by it. You know, like we've had so many good times. You know, that person was there for me when I was coming out of an abusive relationship, you know, all of that. Now, establishing boundaries, I can definitely get. I need to do that in this situation. But I was coming from being young, being on VA, doing whatever, clubbing and stuff. And now it's a different vibe.
And keep in mind when he tries to give you advice, he is single. I feel like that's an important.
He's not single.
No, that's true. Yeah,
he's in a relationship.
He's in a relationship, but at the same time, I mean, I don't really ask him for advice like that because my relationship is a little different than his.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
You guys are just shaking your head.
No, I just feel that's an important boundary, the advice thing, because sometimes my friends will ask me for advice, but I'm like, bro.
About that.
I mean, if you really feel like y'all relationship is worth, you know, keeping, cherishing, then set the boundary.
Yeah, my thing is it affecting your relationship? Like, is your boyfriend getting upset?
No, it's more so one of those things where it's just like, okay, I feel like as a professional, I do have to get up at a certain time. I have a job outside of this. So it's more so something that I probably need to set for myself. And the issue is that sometimes I would answer because he would go through things. And then, I don't because I don't. So it's more so keeping consistency, I feel like, as opposed to just setting one. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I will say this. Friends, when you get in a relationship, and I think gay relationships, a lot of friends don't understand how to receive that because they feel like, well, bitch, it may not last, girl. I'm gonna be your friend through all of that. You've had 30 boyfriends, and I've always been there. So call me when I call you, answer. And they gotta understand. Listen, bitch, I'm trying to work this out. Like, if you're my friend. Be my friend, but you understand. You might have to take the back seat. The nigga gonna just the only person in our life, or I'll say in my life, that can just jump in the front seat automatically in front of one of my best friends is a nigga. Unfortunately, it is what it is. My best friends will have to take the back seat for a nigga because eventually your partner will become, they're supposed to be, your best friend. Right. And your friends their best friend is never supposed to occupy the front seat of your life forever. That's not supposed to be their spot. They are supposed to have your back. They're supposed to sit in the back. But while you're riding single, they can hop in the front, but that's always rotating. You switch between your different friends. But when you get a man and you're dealing with that man and you're building with that man and you're trying to work on a relationship with them, your friends should be respectful enough to understand that, listen, this is the time where I go take my position and have my bitch back no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And I do it in the most respectful way. And understand it may not work out. But you still have your back. And I think a lot of times friends don't get that. They get caught up on the fact that, oh, well, wait a minute, bitch. I remember we used to go out and now you done got this job. You started this career. You have this man. You've changed. You don't answer the phone as much no more. Like, bro, what's going on? It's like, well, bitch, I'm getting older. I'm leveling up. Like, I don't want to be 50 years old in the club. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that girl.
You should be
I don't want to be that person.
Just staring in the corner.
Yeah.
Well, should you be friends with people you feel like you've grown past? Everybody's there for a reason in a season, and things have their times and they fade out. I mean, it's all right to not be friends with people.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
All right. Who wants to go next?
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and lead into the next joint. So what y'all think about dating sites? What y'all think about the Jack, the Grinders, the Tinders, and what y'all think about them, and what do y'all use them for? Like, can you find love? Can you find love on Jack?
Well, I met my man on Jacked. I've met a lot of people on Jacked. But I'm older than y'all, so bitch, I remember downlink. I used to have a downlink. I used to have a BGC. Bitch, I used to have a for A. Bitch, yeah, they got this new app right now. I don't use it, but for the girls out there that want to know, they have this new app. It's not an app yet. It's just a website. I think it's called Sniffy. No, that's some cheap. Bitch, that's some Sniffy. Girl, y'all gotta go look that up. That's a real hookup. Like, one of my homeboys showed it to me, bitch. But I like to be in the know of that, because bitch, you be surprised who's on what and doing what. You know what I'm saying? And just in case you see your man on that bitch, you like, oh, you didn't think I knew about this one, bitch? No, but seriously, but honestly, I think that dating apps, they're great. You know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't in a relationship, well, would I be on app? I probably will be private now, just because of who I am. You know what I mean? Yeah. But before, bitch, I was on there. I met my nigga on there. Like, we was talking, and I would throw him a little shade. He would throw me shade, and then we finally met up. And we actually fucked first and paid each other. And then we met, like when we first met, like we just really fucked first, and then it was like, all right, girl, I didn't, we didn't. I kind of paid it, like, girl, whatever, because I was on some other shit. And then we had came back, but the initial meeting was on Jacked, and shit, we've been together for a minute, like 4 years. Like, we've had a lot going on. No relationship is perfect, but I think that you can meet people off of Jacked and Grindr.
I met my first love off of Jack. You know what I'm saying? you know, my first meetup I ever had when I downloaded Jack. I was underage, but you know what I'm saying. After that, shit, we dated 4.5, 5 years after my first meetup on Jack. So I never had a bad interpretation of Jack, like ever. So
yeah, I met my man on Tinder, and we've been together ever since. So I mean, that's just how. And then the one before that was Instagram when it first started popping, and that was what 4 or 5 years. So I mean, it did me good. I feel like it has a lot to do with like it extends the amount of like choices you got. You know what I'm saying? Social media in general, because otherwise we'd be stuck to what we got around our neighborhood. So I feel like we should use it for that. Social media is networking. Now, when you're in a relationship, of course not, but you know, as far as like options, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, social media and the internet in general has definitely helped the gay community, and a lot of communities connect with each other. A lot of underground communities connect with each other. It's just so healthy. I mean, straight people will never understand what it's like to they get to walk around and with everyone is a potential option.
Okay.
And then my girlfriend's always like, why do you want to go to the gay club? Why do you want to go to the gay club? Well, because I want to be looked at. Like, I want people to see me. Like, we don't experience that every day just walking around. I mean, we do maybe from women. I don't experience that like from women, but maybe you guys do.
Experience in the gay club, I was like, yo, the straight club has nothing more to offer to me.
Yeah.
You know
Once I started going to a gay club, that was it for me, because it was like even like, because I've had homegirls try to invite me to straight clubs, but I'm just like, you know, it's really all about you when we go there, because ain't nobody looking at me like that. But in the gay club, it's people.
Unless you just want the vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just in that mood for that particular vibe.
Or unless you just want to pull a down low boy for the night and you just trying to get your, trying to get your date. No, honestly, like, you know, that's why you would go to the straight boy.
I do like a straight club. Don't get me wrong. It's just like my girlfriend on New Year's.
They can play pretty good music. I'll say that. It's the music for me.
It's the music for me at the straight club. It's the music.
No.
Go ahead.
It's the music for me at the gay clubs. I don't like it. I like the music at the straight clubs here in Miami, at least.
Yeah, that's what we say. So it's the music for us at the straight club.
Yeah, I like
music. And then too, I like to be able to get dressed and really sock it to the straight boys. Like, bitch, the gays could get into a look too. Like, you know what I mean? Because they think that we all look like RuPaul. Like, bitch, no, I can go on some Jordans, bitch, and give you a look, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to give a vibe, and then I just like when the straight niggas got to put some respect on my motherfucking name.
Girl looking at me.
Yeah, like, so it'd be a whole thing. So, but honestly, like, going back to the apps, and you know, that's the only place where we find that we can hook up and be ourselves and things like that, and other outside of the club. And so I think the apps are cool. Like,
that's why if I'm in a relationship, I don't care. If I'm in a relationship, I wouldn't mind if that person had a Grindr account. You know, I just feel like it's a way to see who's around you. I think it's so beautiful. I'm sorry. I think it could be a beautiful thing if you don't sexualize.
You can use Instagram, but not Grindr.
You can use Instagram.
I agree with mine.
Now that's a boundary I've got.
From it being an underground society, from being gay is like an underground thing, especially like 30 years ago. It's like this underground secret thing, even 10 years ago. And so to have Grindr where we can like know where everyone is and know the community, I think it's a beautiful thing if you don't sexualize it all the time. If you have boundaries in yourself, you can.
But how many people are gonna go on there with that kind of boundary?
But if you
nobody,
that's too much.
Well, if we always sexualize it and don't give it another purpose, it will always be sexualized. But that's another reason to have a Grindr account, just to see the community around you. I mean, we all know who each other are. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Let me tell you something.
Like putting a fish in a jar with shark. It's like putting yourself in a bunch of like a Shark Tank. That's what you're doing. You're a fish in a Shark Tank, thinking that people are actually going to feel that way. Because people want to fuck on those.
If I get a Grindr, let me tell you something. Or I probably wouldn't do a Grindr because that's just not my thing. But bitch, I would. And my thing is, it's going to be under one. We've had the conversation, bitch. It's going to be Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, Brazil, bitch. And the Jack is getting downloaded, bitch. And we're not asking about where the party is, bitch. We're bringing the party to we want a big booty Brazilian, bitch, at the room. Okay. It is what it is, bitch. And nobody will ever know. Nobody will ever know.
Have you ever gone to a state and you needed to connect?
No, that's true too. No,
Okay.
no tea.
You need a plug.
You need the drug connect, bitch. Let's talk about it, bitch. It's you out
Well,
of
I mean,
the
Snapchat's good for that, though. Isn't it?
That comes in handy.
It does come in handy,
Isn't that-
bitch. If you need a pill connect, you need a weed connect, bitch. I'm
And
gonna download this app real quick.
It's even
But I feel like
apps.
Snapchat would be something you get the same thing from. You can still get the same thing from Snapchat, not on
And you can
Grindr.
also
You
get
know
a
what
dick
I'm
pic
saying?
sent to you by somebody else and it erased in 24 hours, and you never know
That's
your man is
true.
getting
That's
dick
true.
pics
But
sent
at the same time, Grindr is the same way. The intention is to have sex, is to meet up for that. That's what it's been for
I
years.
mean,
No. Everything's neutral to be given a
sexualized.
meaning. Everything's
Exactly. I
neutral.
feel like we just sexualized it.
Yeah, exactly. Just like what J-Lo
Right.
said.
If we
Everything is
see that
neutral.
it's a whole breeding ground of men out here, of course we're gonna abuse that, you know what I'm saying? But if you take that and, you know what I'm saying, change the meaning behind it and not sexualize it, then you're gonna look at it in a different way.
But no, that's real though, because I've literally, like he said, like, bitch, I've went to Miami, I've went to out of town, and I'm like, bitch, outside of the sex, I'm like, girl, we need a plug. I don't know nobody here.
Okay.
Now, but then here's the other T though. You gonna look for the finest plug, bitch, because if the Q plug hits you,
And that's the thing.
which
That's
one you
the
gonna
thing.
respond to?
It's the
That just depends on
intention.
that's what I am though.
So
Because
it's a
it's how that's what I
win-win.
am.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. But typically the Q plug might know where everything else is at because
You know what I'm
they're in
saying?
the know of the city.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that just comes into communication, security, and understanding with your relationship. You know what I mean? And so that's a whole other thing.
Agreed.
Being a modern day gay person is a new thing. Straight people have been modern day since forever. Being a modern day gay person is a new thing. I don't think we should like restrict Grindr. Like I get it, but it's a resource. It can be, but
It can be if everybody suddenly thought like that, but that's not.
well, you don't have to follow what people think. You could think
I know
that
that,
yourself.
but you're
Like
one
you
person
mentioned earlier, like we
apps.
literally just said we don't have the luxury of stepping out the house and getting like hollered at and talked to. Like we don't have that luxury of you just getting hit on at the gas station.
Like,
Everybody don't
I'm not
have
gonna get
that,
jealous
so-
of my man if he gets hit on Grindr. Like,
Well,
get hit on.
yeah.
Like,
Right,
you don't
but
get
I'm
hit
just
on
saying you're
it's
putting
important.
yourself in an app that is like that right now. So we're talking into the future. That would have to be a future thing.
You're putting yourself in a situation with like-minded people who are like you, unlike the society that we live in, which is predominantly straight. So it's
Right.
like,
And the society that we live in uses Grindr for specific reasons, and you would be one or two of many that feel that way.
Even if it's used for a specific
what's your
reason,
personal opinion?
just because it's used for a specific reason doesn't mean you personally have to use it for that
You
specific
don't.
reason.
No, you
Just because
don't.
people are sending me dick pics left and right, that doesn't mean I have to send them dick pics left and right. I see
But
it
you
as a
can't
resource.
change the app as one
I don't
person.
need to change the app. That's the thing. You change it within yourself. I just see it as a resource. They see it as a sexual resource. I see it as another type of resource, just a
I
personality.
would just rather not
connection.
see a bunch of dicks all over my phone. So
If you're
that's
on an app looking for one
personally.
specific thing,
It's
what
a
makes you think
singular
that somebody
app.
else
It's not all over your phone.
for the same exact thing as
It's a
you?
singular app, though. It's not all over your phone. It's a singular app. What are you talking
I
Yeah,
mean,
but I mean that's
all
not
in my
fair to say
inbox.
though. But it don't necessarily have to be in your inbox because you could have a private. If you go on there with the sole purpose of figuring out what the nightlife is like, you don't have to put a picture up. You can just and you can hit people up and then hey, I'm in town visiting. You could create a profile in town visiting, not looking for sex, looking for parties. Hit me up.
Mhm.
It's that
See,
simple.
I wouldn't put myself out there like that because that's how you get into trouble going to those apps and doing that kind of stuff.
And
So I
that's
wouldn't.
fine.
I mean, but
Everyone
you
has
can
their
do
boundaries.
I wouldn't
but
personally
you
do
can.
that.
But I mean, the thing is,
Yeah, that is a boundary. Yeah.
you can only get in trouble if you're not telling your man. Like my thing is, if I were to do
Not
it,
that shady off the top.
that would be a conversation that me and my partner have, and typically we'd probably be in on it, and he'd have the login because just like in case I missed it, he caught it. Like, all right, boom, we found something, we figured something. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just understanding and being secure, bitch. Because there's dick and ass.
Sure.
If you're live, if you have a Facebook, if you have an Instagram, I don't know what you're into, but bitch, it's dick and ass all over Instagram that you can just see by just being suggested. So you don't have to get on Jacked and Grindr to be tempted.
That's so true. And granted, I'm coming from someone who's speaking from the sexual kind of industry. I see sex all the time. So I guess it's nothing for me personally. I don't see it as this love thing or sexual. It's not really a thing to me. It's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, and I work with a lot of models in the magazine company, so I see a lot of bodies as well. But what I'm saying to you is I still just personally would not. I just wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the personal preference. So,
It's a
Yeah, so
personal
the thing you have,
Yeah.
that's quote unquote for boundaries. That's a boundary right there. And
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
good
boundary that
boundary.
I
That's a
have.
good boundary to have. But perhaps Sean may not be the person, that goes out of town, and he might be the type of person that plans everything, so he doesn't need to.
I do. Yeah.
So that's fine. Other people, they may not be that organized, so they might think, oh, well, let me see, like, where the gay people at? Because sometimes if I go to the Dominican Republic and I look some shit up, okay, I might find it that way. But if I forget, I might be like, okay, where are the gays at? I don't want to fuck you. I'm just trying to figure out where is there a good place to get drinks.
Right.
Do you feel me?
You know what I
You
mean?
feel me?
Like, literally, it's up to me to fuck you or not. You know what I mean? Like, I have self-control. But at the same time, I'm not going to be on some shit like my man don't know that I have this app and I'm communicating with people. Typically, we're probably going to have a conversation like, all right, should I download? Okay, I'm going to download. Okay, let's just find. And then boom, that's it. Like, that's it. It is. I mean, it's a preference. It really is a preference, but I can understand how it can be used for good and how it can be used for bad. But ultimately, you are the one in control.
You are the holder.
I can see that, but it's not going to change the app.
With great power comes great responsibility. We're not trying to change the app. You can't change the whole thing. You can't change
the world, but you can change you.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's that. All right. So who's next?
So I want to get into some pussy.
I'm excited for this topic.
Yes.
English,
Okay, so let's talk about pussy. The origin of pussy. And I want to specifically say how pussy has become a unisex term and is now a term that is used for both men and women. Pussy, yes, women, yes, get this. Pussy is now used for men and women.
Yes,
and
it is.
Not every gay guy sees it as a pussy. They still see it as an asshole. But if you ask me, I personally like to consider my male, pedundum.
Yes.
My male pedundum, I like to call it a pussy. I don't like the term.
Yes.
I like pussy.
Yes.
Pussy just means a sexual cavity, a sexual canal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
when you're getting fucked, you want somebody to fuck your pussy.
Yeah, I don't want them to fuck my asshole. I don't want
you want them to say, give me that pussy. Give me that pussy.
It's more sensual to me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, asshole is like asshole is already used in a negative way. Pussy to me is used in a sweet way. And pussy, it doesn't have to be just for women. It doesn't. And it's an ever-changing term because one of the definitions from pussy comes from the definition Pussy for like a coin purse. Up in Germany, the etymology of the word pussy comes from a coin purse, one of them, and then another one from a cat. And then, of course, it's used as a term of endearment for women. Some women don't like the word, but I feel like in recent years, all people like the word now.
Well,
so
I think. Well, I don't like asshole. I like booty,
raw.
And
that's
I like butt.
Booty is cute.
I like booty and I like butt.
That's like raw. That's like
but you know what? But if but a lot of people when you're fucking bottoms, or even on the porn, they be like, "Fuck this pussy, give me this pussy." Like, so a lot of boys be like, "Fuck this pussy, like give me that pussy." Like when you got a real nigga fuck you, they be like, "Bitch, give me that pussy, and it make you really feel like the cunt. So then you start giving up that pussy, like really throwing back pussy. And bitch, it gets wet, it gets squishy, it start leaking, and bitch, the session is hot because it's the pussy for me.
Okay, every time.
I like the term bussy. I like the term bussy.
That's vulgar.
I mean, it's not dirty.
Yeah, I mean, but yes, sometimes you want to get dirty. Sometimes you do want to get dirty. I don't think it sounds comical. I think it sounds cute. I like it.
I'd rather just say booty.
Like I don't know.
You say booty. You say pussy. Make you like you fucking a real nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when a nigga say, "Give me that pussy," that'll make you like that'll make you really take that dick. Like, oh, you want to?
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like, okay.
Right. For real.
But
the back get white, like you know what I'm saying?
Shoot it.
But it seems like everyone has a pussy. So if this definition is true, wouldn't that mean everyone has a pussy? Even if you're a top, you technically have.
If the definition is true, yes.
I feel like it's only a pussy when you in it. When you know what I'm saying? When it's getting put to
use.
Pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Do boys have a pussy?
If you gotta ask, they get put to use, it's a pussy.
Exactly. I'm with you.
If it's you, I mean, but use the technical term, then the technical term, you have one.
Well, it's not a pussy when it's giving birth. It's not a pussy when it's giving birth. Then it's a birth canal. You know, so the definition, it changes, it shifts and changes, and that's what I want to get across. Pussies.
Let me use that birth canal. Does that work? Can we use that?
Birth canal.
Fuck this birth canal. No, you don't have a birth. We don't have a birth canal.
We have no birth canal.
But I do think boys have a pussy.
Right.
And it can be
put to use. Right.
Yes, God. And so, and that's a heavy terminology. And see, a lot of women don't know that when men are getting fucked, a lot of language is fuck this pussy, fuck my pussy, fuck me, and fuck this ass, fuck this pussy, take this pussy, nigga. Like that's how they talk. Right. And so
that goes back to pornography too, because they do the same thing when we're watching porn. Isn't that what we hear too? You know what I'm saying? And it's the fantasy. So of course you want to put that fantasy out there.
Yes. So do you guys prefer to, when you're getting fucked, do you prefer to be called what? Ass, fuck this, take this pussy, take this. Has anybody ever said, give me that pussy to you? Sean, I want to hear from you first.
Yes.
Okay. And they said it to me, bitch. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. And it turns it up every time.
It turns it up.
It turns it up.
It turns it up. Especially, it only turns it up. Let's be clear here. If you really feel like the nigga can take your pussy, like if it's a bitch ass nigga with this snatched bitch, you just feel like he's the cut. Bitch, don't tell me that you're gonna take my pussy, because I'm not feeling that. But if it's a real, but I mean, I will put some respect on feminine tops. But you can be a feminine top, but bitch, you need to make me feel like I have a pussy. If you can't make me feel like that, don't talk to me like that. Because I'm gonna look back at you like, what are we doing here?
Wow.
They'll turn real quick. When the dick is in, it's like, that masculine energy just comes right through. Like I even know for myself, I top people, and I'm in my feminine and all that stuff, and I like to be topped and all that. But when I do top, I get in my vibe, and I'm like, let me get this pussy, and I call it.
You get to it. You get to your thing.
I'm biased. I'm unbiased.
I want to see you top. I need to subscribe to OnlyFans. Are you top?
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna call, like going back to the last conversation. I'm gonna call you what you want me to call it as long as I get it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is for me.
Because at the end of the day, it's all subjective. It's all subjective.
Yes. Okay, so listen. I love this, and I love us for real in my Monique voice. Now, we can do what we did last week. Do you guys want to take some calls or some people from some pussy talkers?
We can take a couple of pussy talkers.
Okay, let's see. We can invite some people in. So what I'll do is we'll continue the conversation, but I'll drop the link if anybody wants to join in, preferably face. Okay, because we want to keep the integrity of the show. So please have your phone tilted this way. If you want to come on here. All right. So outside of that, yes, I might have to get a piece of Miles's top tea. Just because, not because I'm horny,
for real.
I want to see.
I want to see. Oh, okay, let's go.
I want to see
the story time.
Miles is right though. Miles is right. Like even if you can be the most feminine bottom, once you get up in it, and it's like, you know what I'm saying, that dominant energy, that masculine energy just take over you. I get it.
Okay, so Sean, tell me a little bit more about bussy. I think that's a term that straight people use to try to insult us.
So I think for me, like it depends on what you're doing because role play is very important as well.
Oh yes, I love
has a
role
lot
play.
to do with keeping the relationship alive. So if you're in one of those situations where you're making things a little bit rough, you can use Ash, you can use Bussy. Now, if it's a romantic moment, you guys are slowly getting into the groove, then you would use Pussy. But that's why for me, it don't matter as long as we get to it. I like a mixture of all those different things. It keeps the relationship alive and it keeps it, long lasting.
With Bussy?
With Bussy, yes. Bussy.
That was a lot. I'm just thinking like when you get into it. So how do you rope? Like tell me how you use that in sex. Because that seems like a hard nigga. Did you just say Bussy?
Yes. So obviously it would be from the back because it is rough and hard. So that would be it. You grab them arms, give me that Bussy, and there it is. It's a rough moment.
That's how corny did it. It's a rough moment.
It's the Bussy. I look at that in the drama for me. Like you say Bussy when you playing with your girl. You can't play.
You corny ass nigga. You better get the fuck. Hold on. Let me see. Alex, what's going on, baby?
What's up? Am I on?
Yeah. Yes. Okay, Alex, don't get on here with your bullshit because you'll be blocked. Okay. All right. What's going on, baby? Okay, turn me down to the back. Hey, how do I say your name? Kaiser? Kaiser. Okay. Come on. Okay, turn me down to the back. Hey. Okay, she wanted to turn me down because she was not ready.
Y'all gotta mute y'all microphone.
Yeah, mute that. Mute the TV. Mute everything.
Just watch whatever y'all on the screen phone.
Yes. Okay, she said she ready to come back. Okay, you ready? Me down because she was not ready. She's still not ready. Okay, so anyway, but people say they don't like booty. I like booty because booty give me like the cute booty, like give me that. Bitch. I like the boy. I like boy butt, bitch. Like I don't know, like boy booty's just cute. Like
I like bubble butt.
Yes, very that. Booty. Very tall, skinny booty. I don't ass seem too much.
That's
booty. I like
ass, but it depends on who's saying it. If it's a black dude from or whatever, he can say whatever.
Okay, Alexander, what's poppin'?
What's up, Alex?
Why ain't nobody ready?
TV too.
Okay, Alex.
Okay. I think he's ready.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Alex?
Good. I'm just like at work. And I was listening to your video like while I was at work and I was like, oh shit, let me like hide and just go on this video real quick.
Okay.
I just wanted to I loved this video. I thought it was really insightful. I will say I do not want to be called pussy. I personally do not like that. Like I remember I was texting a guy and he was like, oh, I want to fuck your boy pussy. And I was like, what the fuck? No. And but I mean whatever floats your boat. But also the whole friend thing when you
wait, hold on, are you a top or a bottom?
I'm burst. I go like both ways. But I'm more
confused about that. Okay.
I'm more top dominant though.
Okay, you liar. You lying. You thinking too long. You know what you like. But go ahead. Okay, keep going at it.
Yeah, I'm more of a top, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. But also, did you just roll your eyes?
No, I was thinking to myself.
No, and then also the whole friend thing. I understand with the whole boundaries, but I also feel like don't be too distant because what if that relationship doesn't work out, And then you kind of like alienated all your friends, and it's like, oh, you want to be friends now, but your man gone. Oh, okay, but you was all hooty when you had your man. You couldn't be caught. Well, now you know what I mean. So I don't know, but I just think it's a good balance, and that's why I kind of like, honestly, like when some of my friends get in a relationship, I kind of call it's kind of like they died a little bit, like a part of them died. Like honestly, like I feel like single friends are so much more fun than going out couples, and I'm just like everything's about your man, oh, your man's going, oh, your man, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't want to hear
But you
about
only
it.
feel like that when you don't have a man.
Right, and that's why you don't take advice from
That's
single
true.
friends.
That's true, but if you were single, turn the tables, wouldn't you feel some sort of way too? See, I feel like it's easy for you guys to say when you have couples privilege, but when you go back to singledom, I feel
That's
like
true though. I
transgender
agree.
people-
I slightly agree.
Legally
Yeah.
I can understand.
I agree.
I can understand. I'm not gonna act like I don't.
Well, because what if, like, my parents, like, they've gotten divorced twice. Like, they were married twice. And I mean, they still have their friends. So, like, relationships don't always, like, work out. And I feel like, you know, just keep your friends, you know, don't alienate them. Don't think you're the hot shit because you got a man and you ain't all bad. And you're good. Just be cool. And, yeah. But I gotta go before my boss, like.
Okay, well,
me.
thank you. Well, listen, this is legendary. Thanks for coming chatting with us. And Alex, you know I love you. You follow me everywhere. So make sure you follow all the guys talking and support us and keep coming to Boy Chat.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Wow, we almost got him fired from work. But listen, that just shows the impact of the show. This is a legendary show.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if the audio is together. We got some people waiting. Okay.
There she go. She ready. She's watching Alex.
Still, yeah, she's watching Alex.
She's still watching.
We've
Alex.
just kicked her from the studio.
Damn.
Yeah, because I don't understand. All you guys got
y'all screens, like y'all TVs.
Okay. Hey, what's going on, Dante?
What's going on? It's Deontay. It sounds like Deontay, but it sounds like Deontay, but I'm broke.
Okay. What's going on, baby?
What's going on? First of all, my best friend just told me to check y'all out. This is my first time checking y'all out. So first of all, the conversation, I'm gagging. I can honestly say as a verse.
Wait, was your best friend a girl or a boy? Who's your best friend?
My best friend Corey, he's over here. He's sitting over here on the side smoking his Marlboro. But
he didn't want to come. He didn't want to come see us. Oh, okay.
He didn't want to come. But I just have to say, like, there's two subjects that y'all was talking about. So one, I can honestly admit that it all depends on who was giving me the dick that I said, fuck this pussy. I've said it before. But I ain't gonna say what. You know, like you want me to drop it down like fuck it, nigga, then take it there, nigga, shit. But you know,
some guys I feel
motherfucker like shit.
I
just wanted to come in because sometimes I think one of the things about it is like us as in our community, we come in with all these standards, right? But we always everybody got that motherfucker that you said that you wouldn't do it with. The next thing you doing all the shit with, right? You done some nasty shit with. And the other topic that y'all had that was interesting was just like kind of just talking about like the standards, and I think it's just you talked about a subject, but you kind of like shied away from it. Like I think in our community, especially like being LGBTQ, we have to start having more conversations about how white LGBTQ men sexualize Black men. We're not talking enough about if we're going to talk about online. Can we talk about the PNP in our community, the party and play in our community? I am myself am a recovering PNP user in that space, and we have to start having more stronger conversations about how to protect, because sometimes you go into that space of being sexual, the next thing you know, you're doing Jacked and Grinder and PNP and just to survive. We all got a friend that's going through that space right now.
Right. We don't. Yeah, and that may be a topic that we might need to add to the docket if you guys are interested in that, because I have a PNP story. I was laced and I met a guy that wanted me to do some strange shit.
Yeah, and I mean, the guy on PNP straight shit, but I did that shit for 3 years. That's a long story. Got a couple porn stars involved in that shit. But I think that we have to start having these conversations in our space, just to bring in the transparency, because like you look at what happened in LA with Democratic donor Ed Buck, that was like sexualizing our Black men in the spaces with methamphetamine, and we need to make sure that we're having a conversation about it. Not to change gears, but I just wanted to just say that within the space of the platform. So.
No, I understand. I understand. We, those are conversations that we are going to talk about. And thank you for bringing those up, and thank you for being a good personality. You brought some spunk over here. I like that.
I'm a spunky, honey. I bring the funky to the spunky. I'm from Seattle, though.
Shout out to Seattle.
Shout out to Seattle, and I actually do stuff here. I am actually the the first LGBTQ chair for the NAACP. They've never had one. So I was doing that previously, and I still do like community activism work, and I'm a hoe on the weekends. So how about that?
Congratulations to that. Congratulations. And we appreciate you, and you are always welcome to come in and come back. You know, are you a top or bottom?
I'm whatever my man wants me to be. I'm single right now, so let's just see how that goes.
Okay, so what do you feel about single friends? Because I'm sure you've probably been a single friend before while you're married.
So Sean, I was looking at you side-eye because the way you was telling the story was like something happened between y'all.
No,
the way you was telling the story, I was like, now wait a minute. But I think what the way that I feel about that is this, right? When we're like, your boundaries are your boundaries. I don't give a fuck. I was telling my best friend this. If you need to talk to me at 3:00 in the morning, you can call me. You know, if I have a man, I think it's one of those things. Sometimes we do have to have restrictions, but for me, my friends can call me whenever. Now, I'm not going to pick up every goddamn night at 2:00 in the morning. You know, like, I mean, shit, everybody has been, we were literally talking. I was trying to call him last night at 1:00 and he said, yeah, bitch, I was just looking at the phone waiting for you to finish because I was trying to finish watching one of my videos. You know, but you know, I think it's one of those things about like, and I just encourage you, start just to create the boundary. I think having that conversation, like, hey, bitch, what's up? You know, you've been there for me through this, but you don't have to feel restricted by what he did for you in 2010 to hold a boundary for his ass in 2021, because there's still a new year, new you. I mean, at the end of the day, we are all. It's kind of like Noah's Ark. The ark's built. Sometimes it's 2x2, and sometimes you got to tell the motherfuckers they can't come with you.
Right.
I agree.
Agreed.
All right. Well, thank you, boo. So we'll keep you. We gotta add some more people on here. Let's see. All right, who we got? Oh shit. Okay, what's going on, Rico? You did not follow the directions, and neither did you. God, y'all don't listen. But go ahead.
There we go.
Hey, what's going on, Armon? What's going on, panel? What's going on?
Hey.
Yeah, so I just got into the live. I just had the conversation about men, you know, being versatile and, you know, pussy versus, you know, boy pussy. Okay. So I just wanted to give my commentary on that. Okay. Now it is two different things. But for a man, as us gay men, you know, we call our ass boy pussy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. But
so you call your butt boy pussy?
Yeah, boy pussy, and I get paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Period. But what I did want to say that it is a lot of DL men that need to come out of the closet too, because a lot of them they be masculine thugs or whatever, but they be wanting to get poked in the ass behind closed doors and stuff like that. So you really got to look at a lot of these characters on here, just like what's the name, Zeal Figure or whatever. He got his shit posted on OnlyFans or whatever, but he called himself straight, but he put a dildo inside his ass. I think that every male is trisexual or bisexual in a way. I think that every man is trisexual and bisexual, and you just got to just know your standards.
So listen, are you a top or bottom?
I am a verse.
Okay, so when you're getting fucked, do you allow men to call your butt pussy?
Yeah, boy pussy. I'd be like, tear this pussy up. Hell yeah.
Okay, so you drop the boy and just go with the pussy.
Boy pussy.
So they say, okay, I'm gonna fuck this boy. You say fuck this boy pussy, or do you say fuck this pussy? That's what
I say. Fuck this boy pussy. That's what I say.
Okay, fuck this boy pussy. Okay, but you still have a pussy.
I mean, I would call it that. I would call it that.
Yeah, yes, you do. It's okay. Embrace your pussy.
Pussy doesn't only mean vagina; it also means coin purse and cat.
Yes, fuck my coin purse.
Fuck my cut. Yes,
or
I love that. Fuck his coin purse. Yes, bitch. Fuck my coin purse. That's the new one, bitch.
Yo,
yes, fuck the coin purse, bitch. Yes, fuck this coin purse.
Okay.
I just wanted to come and join the panel and tell you congratulations on all your success and 100,000 subscribers. I knew that you can make it. I've always been watching you from day one, even though you hate no cat. You know, But anyway, that's another subject.
Yes, it is. But thank
I
you,
was
Rico. And so listen. So for the record, you do have a pussy, just like all of us. Whenever it gets fucked. Okay, now listen. What do you think about the dark skinned men and the light skinned men? What type of men do you like? And what type of men do you like? Fuck you.
Okay, so I love chocolate. I love chocolate.
Oh,
I love chocolate. And like that's like one of my like something I can just go low for. I love chocolate. But when a dude fuck me or whatever, I mean, I fell in love with light skinned dudes, even chocolate dudes, but I prefer chocolate.
okay.
And if
Does size matter?
size do matter, size most definitely matter, because if you, I mean, you
That's
could
a
be
conversation
average.
we're gonna have next week.
Right.
You could be average. You could be average.
The whole
Know how to work your average piece, but if you got a big piece and you still don't know how to work it, it's like, but size do matter because I gotta feel it. I have to feel it. You know?
Okay. Okay.
I want my nigga to fuck me just like if I was a bitch and shit like that. A freaking.
Okay.
I want him to choke me.
Okay.
Stand me up around the door and shit, and then vice versa, and then I can flip his ass around and do the same thing to him.
Period.
You're gonna have a lot of broken furniture. Come on.
Okay. Right.
9.5.
Yeah.
9.5. Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right, Rico. We'll bring you back. Okay. Let's see who we got. You got it, Alexander.
What's up?
Alexander.
Yeah, we
Can you hear me? All right.
Yes.
So, how do I? So I'm a top. And
Okay.
I used to be like, hell no, I'm not gonna no dude pussy. Like, I'm not gonna fuck. No. But nowadays it's like, hell yeah, when I'm in it, like you said, when you in it, it's just a vibe, and you gotta look. Give me that pussy. Open it up.
Yes, for the
vibe. And now I'm
That's
like, I'm
the pussy
super
vibe.
comfortable with it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I want that pussy, and like, ain't no way I'm call that pussy. No shade, Sean, but like, no, I'm not calling no pussy, no boy pussy. Like, it's pussy, and it make you feel more masculine being a top.
Right. Definitely.
Okay, let me ask you this now. Do you prefer light skin or dark skin, or do you find like being a top, it makes you feel like, you know, you are more drawn to light skinned boys?
Yeah, light skin. And I'm going to probably sound biased because I'm dark, so I can't just imagine myself, my dark ass, like being in some, you know what I mean? Like, no.
See,
there's the colorism right there. That was
that's
it
really
right
important.
there. That was it right there. That was the meat of the color. Yo, dark ass. What does that sound
No,
like?
I mean, no disrespect. It's just like, I like to see the contrast, the different contrast.
Like the yin and yang type of thing. That's
yeah,
what I hear
right,
every time.
exactly.
I hear that.
It kind of like goes together.
Like,
I agree though. I mean,
right.
I think it goes together quite well. And then,
Anybody else?
White, at the same time, I've been with white, and then, you know, when a brother feel like you go with white, then it's like, oh, you trying to change up, you trying to do this, you trying to do that. It's just like, no, I like the difference, and I just don't see myself being a dark skinned man with another dark skinned man. To each its own, though.
So you don't have it just open in your mind. You more so have it an idea.
What'd you say?
You don't have it open in your mind. You just have a direct idea of what you want.
I know what I want. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say like.
Wait, what? As another man said in the chat, I just want to ask you. They said Alex needs to. Okay, somebody said that's a cop out. Alex hates his color. Do you hate being dark skinned?
No, I love being dark skinned. That's not what I said. I just said I prefer to have intercourse with a lighter skinned man.
I just think it's interesting that you don't. What if you find love in a dark skinned man? You know, would that be fine to you? Like,
then it'll change. You know,
right?
Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's why you should leave it open.
Yeah,
right.
so like you can have like the ideal, you know, which is what I think you're trying to say.
Yeah,
is like you have
a preference.
Right, but if you come across somebody that shows you something different, you're open to it, which I feel like is a good.
Of course. You know, like, okay, and then I can just elaborate. Like, for instance, back in the day, I was with a dark-skinned dude, and he was like a player, and that shit, I mean, that kind of turned me off. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not messing with it. So, like, I'm done with this. But then I have, in the fast forward that I have seen something different. Like you said, like it's all about experience and what you're going to bring to the table. Like, do I have a preference of a light? Yeah, but to say I never ever, no.
But I think
No, I can't
it's
say that.
safe to say, to help you out here, I think you feel like two dark skin come with two masculine energies, and you don't want to be battling that. So you feel that light skin is a little bit more softer, prettier, feminine energy for you to dominate at the top.
Exactly.
So the energies don't lie in the skin tone.
They don't. But that's the perception.
That's the perception.
You can't blame him for that though. It's just it's his
energy doesn't lie in genders, skin tone either.
Yeah, you can't blame him.
But it's a choice. Yeah, it's the ideal.
But that's just like Armon, like you said, you like dark. You want a dark skin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the next person may say they want a light skin. So how is that? How do I get bashed for it? Because
you're not getting bashed.
No, you're not getting bashed. You're not getting bashed. No, here's the thing. You're actually. I'm living for you and your honesty, because you are the reason why we're having this conversation, because you are not alone. The majority of the community feels this way. We've all felt this way in one way or another. You're being honest about it. So, I mean, this is why we're having this. This is why it's a topic anyway, because you feel that way. Not you, but us as a people. So it's not a bad thing. It's just a toxic conversation. Yeah. It is what it is, honestly. But I feel like, now, not to dig a little bit deeper, because that's what I do. I don't believe that any man is a full top. So have you been penetrated before?
Explain that.
Have you been penetrated before?
Yeah.
Was he light skinned or dark skinned? Hold on. That doesn't matter. Was he light skinned or dark skinned?
Light.
Okay, so you like even light skinned men to penetrate you?
Yep.
Okay. So cool. So even when you giving like a little oral or a jack session, they have to be light skinned. So you just like light skin across the board.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to know, because typically, when you having your freaky jack sessions, then you want a big black mandingo chocolate dick. But so just depends. It just depends. But I just want to see what you was gonna say. So you said,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
But I do want to touch on one thing that you said. I don't know if it was this week or last week, but about like not being represented. And I think I'm a perfect example to put out there, like how we said Jesse Smollett at one time was an example for more dominant, masculine gay men in the community. And this is where it bothers me, because it's like, to some people on the outside, you may not even know I was gay, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate myself, love myself. But it's just like when I look at the TV or I look at social media and all I see is bitch. Like I can get into it, but it's like, that ain't me. So when somebody come up to me like, girl, and bit,
right,
like to each his own. And that's where I kind of can teeter-totter at, where it's like feeling comfortable being gay, because it's like it's a stigma when all you see is nails and purses and boots and so on and so forth. So I want to see more representation for a masculine, normal, whether you black, white, purple, whatever. Gay man.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I appreciate your honesty. We'll keep you up. Let's see what Keisha, what how do you say your name, love? Kaiser.
Okay. To teach me something, because this is my first time calling in.
Okay.
I look a hot ass.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Yes, girl.
Messy hair, don't care. But
it's Sunday.
But anyway, you guys could teach me something, because I have first cousins that male and female that are gay, and they got to teach me the lingo.
Yeah.
So I was like, so they had to correct me on some stuff, like you don't say certain things because it's derogatory, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'm from the old school. Let me know what the N is, right? So the pussy thing.
Talks English, Spanish, and French.
In French.
Yes. I still like corn purse. I'm telling you, corn purse. That's it for me.
I'm trying to figure that out. Like
what, the pussy?
The thing, and you guys are all different.
Okay, Miles, go ahead and explain to her what the pussy is.
Okay, well, pussy. Well, what the new definition it's being given.
Well, first of all, we got to try to understand, what are you trying to understand about the pussy?
I got a pussy.
And so do I.
I don't.
No. It's so does Miles.
Got one.
Okay. No, okay. Go ahead, Miles. Go ahead.
Pussy is in reference to a cavity, a sexual canal, basically, is what the new definition of pussy is. It's a unisex term now. And pussy has had multiple definitions throughout history, from things like an Old Norse puss pouch, pocket, purse type coin thing, or there's another term that it was derived from, also from pussycat. So it never was, and then it evolved into, from the pouch type thing, it evolved into the vagina. But now it's a general term used for anything that can be penetrated.
Because pussy is not really a vagina. Pussy is a slang term that they've used to replace vagina. But pussy is like a cat. Really, a pussy is a cat. And so women refer to their, vagina as a cat, like pussy. So,
anything that could be penetrated
is a pussy.
Essentially.
If it's being put to use, if your man got an ass, I mean, it's a pussy. If it's being fucked, it's a pussy.
Oh, it turned you out. You need to stop.
Hey, okay, I don't need on it.
Because you're cute as hell. Like, I'll be looking at you, I'll be like, okay. But anyway.
I appreciate that.
So pussy is anything that could be turned out.
This word is like 200, 300 years old.
Huh?
This word is like hundreds of years old.
Anything, a hole that's being put to use. An ass.
It's just like a woman got a pussy. A bottom man got a pussy.
It's just like makeup. Makeup in Egypt, men wore makeup, but now today they don't. Well, now it's coming back.
I think where the problem is that maybe you feel like we're lacking the parts.
Mr. New York, I can make you up though.
Okay. I hear you.
But I think it's the lack of other parts that she's probably talking about.
Well, yeah, no one's saying they have a vagina. What we're saying is pussy is
a term, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pussy is just a reference to a sexual canal. It's not in reference to anything else. It's a sexual canal. So as long as you can have sex with it,
it's a pussy. You can you have the right, because women do not own the word pussy. They really technically, they have vaginas.
No.
Women have vaginas. They don't have
the bottom of pussy.
Yes. And they have pussy boys and pussy cunts, and it's soft, it can be fucked, it's submissive. It's a cat.
It's not trying to be a woman or anything. It's just about
on here.
It's just about expanding the definition.
What's the bottom on this panel?
Yes. Okay, so now she's understanding the word. Okay, so let me bring you back, Keisha. Okay, let me go. Okay, that's some weird stuff. What you got going on? Hello.
Hey, Armon, how you doing?
Oh, come on, top man.
No, don't get on
1,000% top man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you letting me come up here like this, because a lot of people don't understand that everybody don't need to see your face. A lot of people are not out.
Stay low key.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, you really had some good points today. I subscribe to your channel. I'm in the Bay Area too. Basically Fairfield.
Okay.
So
I know where you at.
Yeah. So I'm always in San Francisco. I go to school in San Francisco.
Okay.
Okay. So thing is, I guess it all depends on your age, to the point to where you accept responsibility. Sean was talking about the I don't want to leave my friends. Basically, what he got to realize is that when you're in a relationship, you got to leave those friends out of the relationship, separate the two, because that would be a problem. You got to also take into account that your man is the person you're serving in your household.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So if you
Mm-hmm.
go back and you revert back into that second childhood, like, oh, but my friends were there. You got to change all that. You really got to change all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So the thing is, if that man have told you nicely, hey, look, baby, I don't want you doing this. Keep your friends out of our relationship, especially one that has not been in a relationship, don't have anybody. But clearly, this person won't want you to just get back out there and start partying and hang out. You know, you got some.
I mean, he's in his own relationship, so that's not the issue. It's just his own personal boundary, which I know I'd have to set.
Okay, I feel it. But Armon, boy, you crazy than motherfucker.
Now listen, let's get into it because the people in the comments are asking, do you have a wife?
Oh.
Do I have a wife?
Yeah, are you DL in any way?
I don't use the gay lingo. I'm just a natural man. Being a man come natural for some of us.
Okay, shit. Now, do you use pussy? Do you, when you top men, do you say, give me that pussy?
If, well, I ain't gonna say if because I have a specific type. I'm not attracted to men just because you have a pretty face or you light skin. I'm attracted to you if you got a super big ass like a woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't get all off into the gay boy stuff like, oh, well, he pretty, he light skinned. Sean is light skinned, Lawan, Jawan, or whatever your name is. You know, I don't get all off into that. You know, it's all about you, how you make me feel.
Okay,
so,
but you got to have a fat woman ass.
Yeah, but a boy in the face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, and I say if I want a woman, I can get a woman. That's no issue.
Right.
You know, and answer your question. Yes, I do love women, but I'm not going to be with a man and a woman at the same time because you're a bad boy if you could do that. You know what I'm saying? I've been there to where I don't fucked him, and he's like, but I want to be with you, and here she is. Oh, I want to marry you. That's too much to deal with.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's too much to
now.
deal
Okay,
with.
So now you in California, so you know what, and you're in San Francisco, so you know what it. I'm assuming you're black, so you know what the ratio is to black men to white men to Asian men here. So you know predominantly, you know, a lot of the black men date white or date outside their race. Now, do you notice the colorism here, or is that a thing to you? Do you see color? Do you have a type, or light, dark, or you know? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Of course, you see it a whole lot. You know, I'm a man that has been a lot of different places. I'm educated as well. I moved from Atlanta to back out to the Bay Area. You know, I was raised most of my life in New York and in Atlanta. And when I moved back out to California, which is my birthplace, San Francisco, I noticed that a lot of black people don't know they're black, even the gay community. As in the black gay man, you know, there's a lot of colorism, but I guess it's all about what's been taught. It starts with the school system. The school system don't teach black history out here as much, you know, because they don't know a whole bunch about being black. And you ask a brother like these brothers here that are light skinned, hey, what are you? They will immediately go to, oh, I'm Latino. Or you know, that kind of bullshit. You know, when they put a fucking curly kit in their hair, you know, some kind of to make their shit look, you know, like that. And you see that a whole lot. But the thing is, black men in the gay community first have to fix their own self before they try to dwell in other places. Because trust me, I don't give a fuck how many white friends you have, or if you fetishize on white folks, or you let them fetishize on you. Trust me, at the end of the day, they'd rather be with their own. But we the only people that always want to be with something other than. And we got to get out of this light skin, dark skin shit. Now, if the cards laid that way for you, as in you being a like me, I'm a medium brown to dark skin man. I'm chocolate, you know. But the cards have always laid for that pretty light skinned boy. But I always have to let them know, look, Sean, I'm not looking at you because you think you're pretty or what somebody else has told you. I need to know that you got your head together. You know, you see I see beautiful men all day long. So what? You know, don't let your pretty face and your fat ass go to your head.
Okay. Now, have you ever been penetrated?
No, sir. Never have. Never wanted to. I don't even want a woman touching my ass. And that's just it.
Gold star.
I'm just being honest with you. Real talk. Ain't nobody ever even came to me like that. You know, never.
Are you into transgenders?
No, I'm not. But I'm not against trans people. My youngest brother, who's 25, is a trans person, you know, and I haven't seen him as a boy since he was 17, you know, so I can't see him as a boy because it's always been there, you know.
And the last thing people want to know, as 1,000% top and without having been penetrated, as medium brown, how big is your dick?
Oh, shit.
Now you're gonna lie about it because we can't see your face.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Or do you have a medium-sized cock?
If a man is sitting around lying about his dick, then you know that's a problem. My thing is, if you are I'll put it this way: if you're a man that's confident, you know what you have.
Okay.
Yes, I do have a big dick. Yes. Okay.
Well, we're talking inches in width.
To me, I guess you could say average is 9.0. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not 13.
They just I just wanted to for the people on the panel.
But I'll tell you this: you have to. I wouldn't be asking for a lot of ass if I didn't have a big dick. Put it that way. I'm not attracted to real slim guys. You know, I'm a medium built guy, but I'm looking for somebody that's 36, 38, 40 waist with a fucking 40, 50 ass and a flat stomach.
Bitch, are you looking for a black China?
Okay.
Football player, Bill. You know,
okay. Listen, Thick, no shade on the cool. Thick is really starting to be in right now. I'm here for it.
If you're in Atlanta, they give thick boys the praise all day. But sometimes the big boys can let it go to their head, because my thing is, if you're a big boy and your attitude stink like a dead person, and you're gonna ask me some shit like, "Do you work out every day?" Trust me, you ain't gonna do that.
Yes,
you find that a whole lot. But look, man, I appreciate you for letting me come up here like this.
Yes, absolutely.
I belong to a whole different group on YouTube.
How did you find us?
I just looked at different things that was in the feed that kept coming up in the Bay Area, and I was like, damn, it's good to see another black dude who know he's fucking black that speak on black issues, you know.
Yeah, I'm here. And we'll be doing a meet and greet one day soon. I want to do it this summer. I want to do like a conference. So one day, hopefully, you can come.
You know, when COVID is over, you know, it's still pretty bad up here. You know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
I was just out in North Beach, and people are still hanging out like it's fucking summer. You know.
Yeah.
They can't do that. But let me say this last thing.
Okay.
I would love to invite you to the Manosphere. The Manosphere, you know, it's a whole different community. On Facebook, it's all black, and we want to bring black men who are doing things. We ain't gonna talk about what your sexual preference is, but it's to be respected, because the guys that I'm around, they're always they don't understand this here. They don't.
Okay, yes. Email me, DM me.
Okay, I will. I'll do that.
Yes, so we'll talk soon. At the ArmonWigginsshow at gmail.com. So just my name at gmail.com. Let me know who you are.
Okay.
And boom.
And I also probably leave you a number. My number starts with a 415 too. So. And it's just to talk business. None of that other shit.
Okay, yes. Thank you.
All right.
Bye. All right. English, Spanish, and French. Listen.
Okay.
No. Okay. Now this is the last what? Hello?
Yo, what's going on?
Okay, now you're trying that. Listen, I'm just kidding. I just felt like you put that voice on.
Not at all, Armon.
It was kind of like the Jalan, you know, when Jalan do his ending.
That did kind of sound like Jalan
playing. A little smooth. Hang on.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah. So I was. Which one we want to go to first? I guess
we waiting on you, baby. I need you to get close to the mic.
Oh, it's my Bluetooth. You need me to just turn my Bluetooth off. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really like pussy. It's got to be the pussy every time, whether I'm giving it up or taking it. Why y'all quiet? What's going on?
I'm not listening. I'm listening from it's too deep in my ear.
Yeah, I'm just listening to the voice.
It's like coming down my neck.
It's too much of a I can't. It's too much.
Hey, I need y'all to help me out though. I mean, I can't remember all the topics. So y'all gotta talk with me. Y'all gotta talk to me too.
Come on, we got 3 people up here. Listen, somebody talk.
Okay, well, you like to call it a pussy or a booty hole?
Pussy every time.
Pussy every time. That's right.
No matter whether I'm in it or it's happening to me.
Right.
Okay, so it's safe to say you're fully versatile.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So you serious about that? Okay. So is it a light skin or dark skin preference?
Dark skin, chocolate. Yeah.
What are you then?
I'm brown. Okay. I'm brown.
I can hear it.
That's what I didn't want to assume though, but yeah, you can hear that. You can tell.
I mean, but it could go either way for me. Like personally, like if you got the right talk game, or if the feelings is right, it could go either way. But I prefer what's gonna catch my eye is the chocolate.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was another thing y'all had touched on. I can't remember. Y'all had did like 3 type. Oh, the friend thing.
Has the deep Butch Queen voice.
the friend thing. I want to talk about the friend thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, man, my best friend, like, he living his life so much. I couldn't imagine him calling me at 4 a.m. Like he probably gonna be asleep. If he is calling me at 4 a.m, it's because like somebody that shot him or he ain't got in a car accident or something. Like I just couldn't imagine getting called at 4 a.m. where he know I'm at home with mine in the bed. Like, what could you possibly want? So I mean, I would answer because I would assume it's an emergency, but if I were to answer and it not be an emergency, I would hang up on him and then we would have a really nice conversation about it in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of like
some cells to be regenerating. You need to be sleeping, getting your energy. I don't know why someone would be calling you at this time.
Man,
call the police.
Yeah, like I have a business, he have a business, both of us have lives, so I don't see where he would even have the time to be out at 4 a.m. trying to get me to come and party with him or something like that. Like it wouldn't even go
I think
down
it has
like
to do. I think it has to do with the lifestyle. Like certain friends have a certain lifestyle, but then it boils down to whether you can keep that friend and keep the boundary, or just kind of let that person go with the lifestyle.
And then another thing, my best friend is so understanding. I don't even think he would ever try to put me in a position like that where where our friendship is uncomfortable, or I have an uncomfortable place between my friendship and my relationship. Like he uses his head a little more than that, and he's more respectful of us to even put me in a position like that.
Right. Some people have no self-awareness. It's like they don't even look at their surroundings.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I wanted to add to it. I appreciate y'all for taking my call.
Thank you. And are you enjoying the show? Have you been watching this show? Do you like it? What do you think about the voice chat here on the channel? Because you have called in before, I know you. So what do you think about this? Us doing this every week?
Man, I think it's so needed. Okay. Particularly like the caller before this one says, you get to see a whole spectrum of the whole community, as opposed to just seeing the Lawrences all the time or the Jays, the Miss Jays all the time. You get to see the whole spectrum of what belongs here in the community, and everybody can be appreciated and understood. So
now I will say this. I will say I've been getting a lot of backlash in the chat. Earlier on, I got some backlash in the chat. I seen that they were saying that the whole panel is light skinned. Why do people try that? Do you feel like, like it's some tea? Like, I think these are the people that did good when they submitted. This is who submitted. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
I agree with you. If this is who submitted and this is who had the composure to get up here and speak like they have some sense and actually use their brain, then this is what you had available. You know, I mean, step it up, brown skin people. Especially if you brown skin and complaining, you just get on here and represent.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm brown. I'm brown. You, Armon, was you offended? You brown too. Was you offended by me saying step it up?
No,
Armon Brown, and he's sitting right here right now as the leader of it. So I mean, it can be done. It's just about having your shit together.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Bill. Thanks for calling in. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. So, okay. So we are going. Okay. Let's just say. Okay. Thank you, Alexander. Thanks for calling in.
Alex.
Alex. Oh, we call you Alex or Alexander?
I just called him Alex.
Oh, you just called him out. All right. Well, thanks for coming in. Come back and join us. And thanks for being, open about what you like. And we were not bullying you, but I'm glad that you were open and vulnerable and honest, and you showed your face, and you were able to, take, a little bit of criticism or whatever. So I appreciate that. I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you, because things like that, we need more people to be open and honest coming on the platform. So I just want to say thank you. All right. Bye. Okay. Keisha, I'm not bringing you back. Bye, girl. I love you, but girl, you was doing a lot. Okay, bye. Bye, Barry White. Because, girl, she's finna go and do a whole nother 360 when we wasn't gonna be ready for all that. Okay. But I like her still. But you know what I'm saying. Y'all get it. But she would have tried to fuck you the rest of the show. We like, girl, we not even.
She was busting shots.
Okay.
Shots.
With that being said, listen, we've had another phenomenal show. I mean, I'm really loving this show. I mean, we're really getting into some things over here, okay? And so, listen,
lots of engagement.
Yes, this is
y'all.
Another installment of the Boys Chat, and we will see you again next week. Make sure you follow me at the Armon Wiggins Show across all your social medias, and I will pass it that way.
Yes. Also follow me, everything Miles Spears, and also check out my OnlyFans if you want to support an independent sex worker at Miles_is perfect. And please subscribe.
Hey, get to my Instagram at Jalon. Y'all see it right here. Right. Yeah. Just get at me. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? It was nice talking to y'all.
You could check me out on Instagram. I am _E Ali ALI on Instagram.
All right. Well, that's that. Well, listen, this has been another installment of the Boys Chat. And until next week, keep that same energy, and we'll see you niggas soon. Bye, pussy.
Bye.